Welcome to a short video about something that drove me nuts for quite some time now, making me believe that my Bravo throttle quadrant, my Honeycomb Bravo throttle quadrant is defect. I was thinking this especially because it was independent of the sim that I experienced problems. So normally, when a hardware part doesn't work on any of the sims properly, then it is most likely the hardware. So I thought. And because the problem got worse over time, I actually thought I have to throw away my Bravo and get myself some new kit. Now, what happened? Well, what happened was the following. If you go, let's go to sensitivity here, showing you all the axes. So basically what happened was the following. If you have an axis like this here, right? The problem looks, and actually I have it with two people now, and it sometimes looks a bit different, but the general idea is the same. Only half of the path of your axis is usable, normally usable, and the other half, with me it was the lower half, is as soon as you hit roughly the middle of your axis range, the thing will go down to zero. No matter what you do down here, this will stay on zero. And it's like an on-off switch, yeah? So as soon as you hit the position from where it will work again, it would jump to here to the middle, and then you would have normal operations. So to me, this looked like some hardware fault. And it started with one axis about a year ago. And then in the end, I had now 3 axes that didn't work. So rendering my Bravo almost useless. And also not allowing me to use differential thrust on, like, say, the 747, because in order to get the 747 maneuvered, you sometimes want to use the two engines on one side with a bit of power supporting sort of the turn. I couldn't do that because I had exactly one lever that worked properly, and I used that for the thrust for all engines, for 2 engines, for 1 engine, and for 4 engines, and 3 engines in the MD-81, MD-11. So, tough luck, huh? Spent a lot of money. It's 2 years ago, or more than 2 years ago. No warranty anymore. Unfortunately, that part is not working. Well, I was reading for something related to joysticks because I was doing some Mobi flight setup here, something I'm going to make a video about soon. And I stumbled over an article where it sounded my Honeycomb axis won't work, something like that. And I thought, okay, yeah, I have that too. Let me see. And there was a pensioner from the US. He said so himself. And he was also experiencing pretty much the same problem that I did. And he tried everything like I did. You can't really use dead zones and things like that, wouldn't work. Same with me. And then he says, but there's a very simple solution which makes it all work again. And he got it from someone else on some other forum. So it's third and fourth party news. It's actually very simple. You use your start menu and you enter USB. Now in German, you will get something like USB Spielesteuerung Einstellung or something like that, or Einstellung, USB Einstellungen, something with games and controllers. In English, it's setup USB game controllers. You might know this one because I'm pretty sure that almost every simmer has at least once in a lifetime gone into this here in order to calibrate your axis. So choose your Bravo throttle quadrant. I'm not sure if this also happens for other joysticks. The Bravo is the only one where I experienced this. So you might remember this. Yeah, you can kind of calibrate First, if you can test and you can calibrate also your axis outside of the simulator. Now, the decisive part is don't use calibrate. See this reset to default? You press this button, you say OK, and your Bravo throttle will work again. It was a miracle solution to a problem that had me almost throughout my Bravo throttle. And just today, I mentioned this in a stream, and one of my sim buddies came to me and says, what did you talk about Bravo throttle axis not working? Because mine are broken too. And we went through this little procedure, and 5 minutes later, he was like, it's like a new piece of hardware I have here. Don't ask me what Windows is doing here and why things are changing and why you have to reset the game controller in Windows in order to make them work again properly. That's beyond me, and it is independent of the sim. It affects X-Plane as well as MSFs as well as prepared. And you can't really do much about that problem. So if this sounds familiar to you, try this out, and you can leave a comment if it worked for you. That's it. I told you, short video. Until next time.